taking some nice deep breaths. Sorry guys, I don't know what happened there. We're back. We're back in action. Okay. Thank you for being patient as we navigate this. So sitting nice and tall, allowing the root of the body to sit into the ground. You can find some comfort in your stillness here. You can take some movement in the head and the neck. In this class, we're going to be really activating the core of the body. So keeping that belly pulled in, keeping the shoulders down and back, keeping the chin tall. As we breathe in, we expand the chest, and as we exhale, we keep the height in the body. We press all the air down, out of the root, the hara. Nice deep breaths. Palms can be face down if you're looking to feel a little bit more grounded, or we can open up the palms and invite in some of that good positive energy. I'm channeling my inner Corinne tonight. I'm subbing for Corinne. I'm gonna keep things feisty, just how she'd want it. Nice deep breaths. Inhaling the arms up, interlacing the fingers, and exhale, reaching nice and long. We want to keep the hips nice and rooted. We want to reach the arms up. We can gaze towards the fingers. Inhale up. Exhale, reaching over to the opposite side. Keeping that belly pulled in and active, reaching up, gazing towards those fingertips. And inhale, releasing the fingertips down behind the body, interlacing them. We want to keep the thumbs together and almost drive the thumbs down the spine. Good. Reaching the arms up any amount, and we exhale, we lead with the chest. We fold forward like we're melting the chest onto the ground. The arms can come up any amount. Lifting up the chin, coming up nice and tall, releasing those arms, shaking them out. Let's get into it right away. Let's find our way into that tabletop position and get some cat-cows, get that body moving a little bit. Definitely feeling the abs from yesterday. Mayurasana, exhale, arch that back, press through the hands, drop the head. Inhale, drop the chest, pulling through. Inhale, pull that belly in. Exhale, dropping down. Nice deep breaths. Taking about 3 or 4 more of these, incorporating anything you'd like to in the hips, just kind of giving that little body check. I like to start out my classes this way, just to see if there's any areas of the body that you might notice need a little bit more attention today, or maybe something just feels a little bit tighter. Always knowing that child's pose is available to you. Deep breaths, and let's make our way into downward facing dog. Gripping through the pads of the fingers, tucking the toes, lifting the hips, pressing down and back. Nice deep breath, rolling the body forward into plank, nice and long. Lifting up, rolling back, heels come down, downward dog. Lifting up the heels, rolling forward, plank. Lifting up, downward dog. Continuing this motion, making sure you're coming all the way over the hands with the chest. It's actually more difficult if you try to stop right about here because you're putting pressure on the heel of the hand. So get into that plank, lift up, back, and roll forward. When you roll forward, make sure once you get into that plank, you press those heels back. Lift the heels up, press them down. Lift the heels up, press them back. Adjusting the gaze. Gazing between the feet, gazing in front of the mat. Gazing at the feet, in between them, and in front of the mat. Good, holding here in plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Keep those elbows tight to the body. Inhale, Cobra. Exhale back, downward facing dog. We're gonna bend the knees, and we're going to get the shins parallel to the mat. And we're gonna gaze in between the hands. We're gonna press into the feet, coming nice and low. Lift up the hips, drop the heels any amount. Good. Rolling the body forward into plank, side plank. From here, we're gonna bring that knee to elbow and extend, pulling that belly in, extend. Modification, you can come down to the knee. For 5, nice and long, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep that leg up, extend into 3-legged dog. Pressing that heel back. Going through our flow from here, you can leave this leg up or we can drop it back down. Rolling forward into plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Cobra. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Nice deep breath. Rolling the body forward into plank. Coming into the side plank. And again, knee to elbow and extend, elbow, extend. Pressing nice and tall through that bottom hand. Modification here, we can drop that knee. If that knee's dropped, make sure we're nice and tall. Extend, extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Three, 2, 1. Making our way into 3-legged dog. Pressing that heel down. Going through our flow. Rolling the body forward into plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Cobra. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Nice deep breaths. Again, bending those knees. Getting the shins parallel to the ground. Gazing in between the hands. Nice deep breath. Back into downward dog. And slowly walk, hop, or step the feet forward, meeting me in a forward fold. Nice deep breath. Allowing the body to come into a little bit of a twist here. We're going to take that right hand and place it behind the left leg. We can open up the arm. Or we can even allow it to come behind the back. Switching sides. And back into that forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, folding forward, bending the knees, and rolling the body all the way up. Nice deep breath. Arms follow. Hands come down through the heart center, and we meet into Tadasana. Nice deep breath. Coming into some balance and hip opening postures, we're going to come into a figure 4, standing figure 4. If you need a wall or a post, you're near something, for balance, by all means. We're going to extend the left leg. We're going to open the left hip. Hands come to heart center. My heel is not on my knee. It's above my knee. I'm kind of like hooking my leg. So get that hip open, find your balance, and from here, we're gonna squat down. Squat and stand. Find that balance, find the center of the body. We're going straight down, and as we go straight down, we're pressing down and back in the hips, so we're elongating the thighs. So take your time, and we'll find a rhythm that works for us. Doesn't have to be exactly the pace I'm going. Exhale, press and tilt back first, and then sit down and press up. Sit down and up. Exhale down, inhale up, keeping the chest open. Don't curl yourself over. Down, feeling the fiery heat in that bottom leg. I know I am. And down and up. Make sure you're getting down far enough where you're feeling that in the outer hip, that you're pressing down. Let's get a few more, let's say 3 more. If you lose your balance, reset, take your time. For 2 and 1. Good. Release the leg. Whew, shake it out. That's a good one. All right. Switching sides. Get nice and rooted. Press down, just like when we're coming into Vriksasana. We root this leg onto the ground. We cross and we open, noticing how this hip feels different than the other. Make sure our knees are okay. If you sit down into this posture by tilting the hips and pressing back, you're not coming straight down, putting pressure on the knee. So it's really important to tilt and sit instead of just press, okay? Finding your way back here. Hands at heart center, Anjali Mudra. Exhale and bend. And up. Squeeze that belly in. Down. Flex that top foot, keeping the body nice and active, and press, finding a rhythm that works for you with your breath. Sure you're doing great. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Last one, get nice and deep, good. Relaxing the leg, shaking it out, good work. Finding our way towards the top of our mat. Take maybe some circles with the ankles, pressing back, good. Inhale the arms up, exhale folding forward. Inhale, half lift. Nice long flat back here. Exhale, folding forward and stepping or hopping back into plank. Nice deep breath here. Adding that extra push-up and then coming into Chaturanga. Pressing up, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Cobra. Exhale back, Downward Facing Dog. Lifting up the right leg, nice and high, and opening up that hip. Wild Dog. Pressing that heel down, getting the top heel towards the bum. Squaring up the body. Going through your flow, keeping that leg up if you can. Keeping that leg up kind of forces you to drive down with the chest first, controlling that Chaturanga. Inhale, Cobra. Want that chest to come down before the belly. Lifting up, Downward Facing Dog. Inhaling up the left leg, opening up the hip. And back to 3-legged dog. Going through the flow, rolling the body forward into plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Cobra. Exhale back, Downward Facing Dog. We're going to take the feet wide here, as wide as the mat, and we're going to walk the hands very slowly back to meet the feet. Pulling the belly in, arching the back, Landing in a wide-legged forward fold. Drop the head, shake the head yes, shake the head no. Nice and relaxed. From here, we're going to take the heels and bring them in at a 45-degree angle. We're going to drop down into that yogi squat. So the body comes straight down. If you have a block you'd like to sit on or prop up on, that's fine as well. So what we're looking for here is an openness in the chest. Keeping the legs open, we can use the shoulders. The feet, if they can, be flat on the ground. We're still nice and long in the torso. We're not hunched in between our legs. That's the difference. Scoot yourself up, roll the body, create space between the ears and the shoulders. And we're going to focus here for a few minutes. Nice deep breaths. Coming back to an intention that you may have set for your practice today. Trying to let the mind be still and quiet. Feeling the strength that you're creating in your body today. Getting that heart pumping. Feeling that energy moving throughout your entire body. And from here, we're going to take a few moments and we're going to play around with crow. So if you're not familiar with this posture, we're going to start at the beginning. If you are, go ahead, pop into crow, use your breath, headstand, or if you would like to as well. So if you're not familiar with crow, what we're going to do is we're going to take our hands, we're going to place them down in front of us, okay? We're going to attach our tricep to the crease of the knee. So we want to get nice and in there. And we're going to lean forward and we're going to lift the heels. We're going to bring the heels or the toes a little bit more together. So we're kind of in a frog position. Now this is step one. I want you to rock forwards and backwards. And I want you to keep this arm and that arm attached to the legs. So I just want you to push forward, and as you push forward, you're pushing your arm into your knee, or underneath your knee, the crease of the leg. So this is step number one for crow. So step number two is as we reach forward and lean forward, we pull the belly in. We don't lift the feet off the ground yet, but we pull the knees in and we create space, okay? So from the side, we start by rolling forward. Next step, creating space, pulling up, almost like we're coming into cat. Now from here, we can hang out here. Maybe we can lift one toe or the other toe. If you have a block or a pillow, you can place in front of your face. There's a little element of fear in these positions that we don't want to end up on our face, so that's a nice little trick. Also, if you want to get a little bit more height as you're starting to get comfortable with these postures, you can stand on a block and then maybe lean yourself forward and maybe lift up a toe or two toes. So those are the progressions of that posture. If you want to come into a headstand from here, nice deep breath, dropping the head down. And then the knees come back down, heels to bum, open, back into crow, and lift. So we'll take another few moments to finish the part of that practice. Always something to play with, something that takes progression. And when you're done, you can just meet me in Sukhasana or easy seat. So arm balances are by no means the goal of yoga. There's the reason that I use that posture a lot in my classes as well, and it's one that's really important to practice, is because it shows the integration of the body. You can't lift your feet off the ground if you're not pulling your belly up and creating space. So we're training our bodies. Where do the hands have to be? How do we activate the back of the tricep to keep the legs open? How do we not gaze down, but gaze forward and create space, activating our bandhas so we have room for the legs to move? So that posture is not just about standing on your hands. It's about kind of one of the biggest things about yoga, using your entire body as one. We're not isolating our arms or isolating our legs. We're incorporating everything in together. We're pulling all of our energy into the center of the body and pushing up and creating space, allowing our body to move in a certain way, create a certain posture or pose. So that is the point of that specific posture and doing those in classes. So keep practicing it, it's a fun one. All right, so sitting up nice and tall, good. Extending out the right leg, grabbing the left leg, and just taking some movement in the hip here. Making sure that this ankle isn't sickling, activate it, grab it. You can use your forearm to kind of caress it so it doesn't fall. Just whatever feels good. And switching sides, extending that leg out, noticing the difference again. Kind of use the forearm to hold that ankle nice and strong so you're kind of hooked. And then just allow the hip to move around in the socket. You don't want to yank that ankle or that foot. Extending out, coming into some boat poses here. So activating that core. I'll turn to the side. So nice deep breath. We're gonna lift up the legs. We're gonna open up the chest. The legs can be bent, or if you'd like, you can take the fingers, grab the big toes, and extend the legs up. If we're here, we're nice and strong. So whatever form of boat pose works for you. Activating that core, keeping the chest open. Holding, holding. Using that breath. If you fall out of the posture, set yourself up again, coming back into it, pulling your belly in. You've got the big toes with the peace fingers. Gently bend the right leg. Gently bend the left leg. And release. And have a seat. Nice job. We're going to come into that posture again. So whatever variation works for you, whether it's knees bent, legs extended, or we can again grab those big toes with the peace fingers, lifting up. Using your breath. Try not to collapse down with the arms. Really try to stay nice and tall. I recorrect myself. Okay. Slowly coming down. Bending the knees and finding your way into a seat. Good job, guys. All right, back into a tabletop position. Lifting your body into downward facing dog. Nice deep breaths. Lifting up the right leg. And we're gonna bring the knee to the outside of the elbow. And we're gonna hold here, flex that foot, pressing down. Nice deep breath. Lifting up, three-legged dog. Knee comes into the center, arching the back, rolling forward, and hold. Extending nice and long. Now that knee is going to come across the body to the opposite elbow. And extend long. Leaving that leg up, going through our flow, rolling the body forward into plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Cobra. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Nice deep breath, lifting up the opposite leg. Rolling the body forward, bringing your knee to the outside of your elbow, and hold. Extending, nice and long. Bringing the knee to the center of the body. Good, nice and strong. And extend. From here, we bring that leg across the body, opposite elbow. And extend. Going through our flow, rolling the body forward into plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Cobra. Exhale, Child's Pose. Allowing yourself to rest here for a moment. Hey everyone, thanks for joining me. Using that Child's Pose as a way to just come back to the breath, find that rhythm again. And if you'd like, walk the hands over to the left. And through the center and over to the right. Back to center and slowly rolling the body up. Bring the knees together. Finding your way into a seated position. Let's take the right leg. Point the knee towards the front of the room, of wherever you're facing. So we're sitting up nice and tall. Then we're gonna take the left leg and we're gonna place it on top. So to come into this posture, I kind of like to press up against my feet, kind of try to straighten the legs, sitting up nice and tall. Good. We're gonna fold forward here, leading with the chest. Getting a nice deep stretch in the outer hips. You can use those feet to help push yourself nice and long. So if you lift up off the hips a little bit, when you exhale, press them back onto the ground. You'll feel a really, really nice deep stretch. We're looking for length in the spine here. Keep that chin forward and get nice and long. And then when you can't get any longer, exhale and drop the head. Lifting up the chin, coming out of this posture nice and long. Place the hands behind the body and allow them to switch sides. So that left knee comes pointing towards the front of the room. Right knee on top. Again, whatever this looks like for you is fine. Maybe the foot is a little bit, the knee's up, that's fine. Again, that's why I kind of like to take my hands and lean forward. Try to align the knees, and then as you sit back, they kind of fall into a place that maybe makes a little more sense for them. So you're not sitting down here forcing them, trying to get them to where they want to go, but we're leaning forward. Exhale, sitting back. Nice deep breath and folding forward. Using your breath to drive your body down, not forcing, just allowing. Trying to keep those shoulders from falling down. We want to keep them up. And then we can bow the head and drop the chest lower, but again, keeping those shoulders pulled back and active. Inhale, lifting the chin, lifting the chest, rolling the body up. And let's give those legs a little help, get them out in front of us. Good, shake them out. Good. Dandasana, nice forward fold here. Remove the flesh from the sit bones so that we're nice and rooted. The feet are flexed and active. The arms come up. Exhale, we're actually going to reach the right hand for the left foot and the left hand for the right foot. exhale, pull. If you need to micro bend the knees, any amount to get into this posture, that's great. So it took me probably a year of 30 hours of yoga a week to be able to even touch my toes. And the way that I worked on my hamstrings was by taking this posture, bending my knees as much as I needed to. And then on every exhale, I would straighten and pull any amount. Lift up, nice flat back, straighten and pull any amount. So by doing this, you're contracting and releasing these muscles. You're tricking them into getting stretchier, a little bit faster, but you're really using those feet to pull those hands. So not only are we stretching out the hamstring, which is running all the way up the back of the leg, we're also creating space in the in the back of the spine. So by creating space there, we're allowing for the length in the legs to grow, those muscles to have more room to work. The back is nice and stretched out so the vertebrae aren't pushing on each other. Again, in yoga, we try to create space in the body, creating space in the lower back and in the legs. Very important. And we straighten that back, we pull those shoulders back, and we bend forward. So after the next couple, this is something that's great to do every single day in the morning when you wake up, before you go to bed. Just really giving some energy and fire into those legs. And on your next one, you can release the hands if you'd like, and then just allow the body to fold forward any amount. Again, the legs can stay bent. Nice deep breath. And then slowly rolling the body up. Soles of the feet down. Coming into that boat posture again. So this one we're going to do a little bit different. If you have some blocks handy, we're going to throw in a little Ashtanga modified, inspired aspect to it. If you're watching later, Lydia, I know you love this one. I'm doing it just for you. All right, so we're going to come into that boat pose. I'm just going to demonstrate first before we get into it. We're going to do this 5 or 6 times. So we're going to come up into that boat pose, and we can have the knees at a 90-degree angle. Okay, arms come out. When it's time, we're going to cross those legs. We're going to find these blocks, either in position 2, probably 2 is good for most of us. We're going to press into the blocks, squeeze the belly in, and lift up and down, keeping the legs and the heels off the ground if we can, back into boat pose. Modifications here. If when we come down, we need to drop that heel, we can use that heel to help lift the body. One thing to remember, if you don't move when you push up, that's fine. It takes some practice. Again, the same thing when we're in crow, we're integrating the body. I want you to not think of pushing up with your arms. I want you to think of squeezing through the pelvis and lifting up through the center of the body. So as we are using the arms as our support, the lifting comes from our floor, our pelvic floor. So we're lifting up here, squeezing the body and pulling up. So we're going to give that a try, okay? Nice deep breath. Coming into that boat pose, squeezing those legs nice and strong, crossing the legs, lifting up, down, boat pose. Good. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, cross the legs, lifting up, down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, cross the legs, lifting up and down. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, cross the legs, squeezing and lifting up, down, and again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, cross the legs, lifting up and down. Good job. Legs come out. Good. Shake them out. Again, those take some practice. There are some other modifications. We can start swinging the legs through and back. So a really good one to practice at home, and one that you'll notice after you try a few times, you'll understand how the body needs to lift, integrate, and pull up to make that happen. Legs wide. Nice deep breath. Reaching over to the side. Again, nice length in the body. Make sure that shoulder doesn't come towards the ear. Pull it away, create space, gaze towards the fingers. keeping an external rotation in the legs. Don't let those feet fall forward. And then let's take that arm. We're going to take the right arm, place it behind the body, and just give ourselves a nice chest opener. Back to the side stretch. I'm lifting up. Exhale, opposite side. Keeping that external rotation in the legs, placing the left hand behind the body and opening up. Back to that side stretch and forward, leaning to the center. And again, not really worried about how far down we can come here. We're tilting the pelvis, we're leaning forward. So if you see me from the side, we're trying to focus on this motion, not this curled motion. So when you start to do all of your forward fold, leading with the heart, you get a lot deeper into the inner part of the hips, the adductors. And by using that breath, we're getting much deeper of a stretch than if we just curled the body down. So I'm using my hands on my calves just to kind of guide myself, keeping the outer rotation, and then slowly lowering. Maybe we can reach for the big toes and come down. Maybe we bring the hands in front of us. And maybe we can press through the knuckles to keep pressing back into the hips. Slowly rolling the body up. Allowing the legs to come in and shake them out. Good. Bring the soles of the feet to the mat. We're going to find our way into a forward fold. So however mindfully you would like to get there, you can place the hands behind the body. Come up onto the balls of the feet. Place the hands in front of you. Exhale, forward fold. Nice deep breath. Inhale, half lift. Again, pulling the belly in, reaching nice and long, like there's a string being pulled from the top of your head, making sure that the hands aren't on the knees, but the heel of the hand can come underneath the knee, or we can have the fingertips down, reaching nice and long as well. Nice deep breath. We're going to face forward, and we're going to take a nice wide stance here. So we're going to come pretty wide, so probably about double the distance of hip width apart. Hands are going to come in front of the body. We're going to take the left hand and we're going to reach it towards the right leg and open up the arms. Not putting pressure on the knee by yanking the leg, but using a little bit of that pressure. Back to center and switching sides. So we take that right arm, grab the back of the calf, and open up. Try to get that top arm nice and straight, almost like it's going straight out, straight up. Good, hands come down. We're going to drop the head as far as we can. Now we can either stay here and we can bring the fingertips back or reach the arms forward, or we can come into a tripod headstand if that's in our practice. If that is in our practice, we drop the head, we lift the heels, we squeeze the legs out, come all the way up, staying here for as long as you'd like, and then allow the legs to come back open, flex the feet, tilt the pelvis, and place the legs right back where they came from. So taking a few moments and keeping in that wide-legged stance, either coming into headstand or stretching the body. find a spot that feels good, by all means staying there for a moment. And when you're ready, placing the hands out in front of you, heel toeing about half distance together. We're still gonna stay a little bit wide. We're gonna bend down, bending at the knees, and we're gonna come into goddess. So we're in a nice wide squat. We're pressing down through the feet, pressing through the ball of the foot, nice and deep. If we'd like to lift up one heel, maybe another, maybe both, and exhale, even lower. Reaching the arms up, opening them up, coming into cactus arms. So we reach the arms up, we extend the fingers are nice and active. We bring the arms down, we pull the shoulders, opening up the chest, squeezing the shoulder blades onto the back of the body. Nice deep breath, straighten the legs, drop the hands, heel toe those feet together. Good, standing up nice and tall, shaking out those legs. Whew. Got those nice and fiery today. Inhale the arms up and exhale them into Tadasana or mountain pose, and just stay nice and strong and sturdy here, reconnecting with that breath. Thank you guys so much for being here. Jessica, Leanne, Katie, Matt, Jason. So many awesome people today. Nice deep breath. So we're gonna take that right leg, we're gonna cross it over the left, and we're gonna have seat down. Good. Making our way, the soles of our feet together, Baddha Konasana. And just kind of place the fingertips behind the body, open up the chest, move out the hips. Take a little twist here, so taking that left hand onto the right thigh, twisting open. And switching sides. Good, nice deep breath. Let's make our way onto our backs. So scoot the bum forward, allowing yourself to mindfully make your way down. Good, give yourself that little hug. We're gonna come into a figure four here. So we did the standing figure four squats earlier. So we're gonna do a figure four stretch, and then we're gonna incorporate a leg lift into it. So when we're in figure four, we're gonna take that right leg, cross it over the left. Again, we kind of hook that ankle and that foot. So we can come into whatever modification works for us. Most of us, grabbing the thigh is nice, or we can grab the shin for a little deeper stretch. Keep this foot active, and then take a little bit of movement. Maybe even place that left hand down, grab the top of the shin with the right hand, and then press down, almost coming into a twist. So it's gonna really stretch out the outer hip. You can bring the leg all the way down. You can come down to the other side. Just kind of, like I always say, just making this your own. You might find a spot that just feels really good that you haven't really gotten to before. So just hang out there and use your breath to work through it. Extending up the top leg, getting the back nice and flat on the ground, eliminating the lumbar curve, releasing the arms to the side, and we're gonna drop this leg down, hovering it over the ground, and lifting up. I need to adjust myself a little bit. Okay. So lowering, hover, and lift, lower, hover, and lift. If you'd like to come into a crunch position, by all means, make sure our chin is not attached to our chest. Make sure we're using our fingers just to hold the head up. Our chest is nice and open. Continue up and lower. Don't let that heel touch the ground. Just like 40 more. Easy peasy. 10. All right, we'll do 10. 9. Keep it up. 8. Don't forget to breathe. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. All the way up. Grab the legs into the body. Give yourself a little massage here. Catch that breath. Good work, good work. Maybe open up the hips a little bit. Coming into a modified happy baby. Let's throw a happy baby in there before we do the other side. So grabbing the big toes with the peace fingers, pushing the knees down towards the arms, or if that's not in our practice today, we can always grab the shins and just take some movement there. Just the goal is to open up the hips. We can extend the legs straight and come into a wide-legged baby. Making sure that the back and the shoulders are on the ground. You don't want to be here. Nice. And then switching hips, figure 4. Now for me, this side in this posture, I noticed the biggest difference in my hips in this particular asana. So accepting where you are, taking whatever modification that you need, and finding what's comfortable for you in this stretch. We always want to find that sweet spot, that appropriate edge where obviously there's no pain, we're not harming our bodies, we're not, causing any, violence, ahimsa to the body. We're not forcing ourselves into something that it shouldn't be in, but we're mindfully getting to a position right before that pain, that sweet spot. Pushing our bodies just a little bit extra without causing harm or pain. So good. Maybe taking that twist again here. Again, inviting in that organic movement. There's no right or wrong. And every time you come to the mat, every time you do a posture, it's going to feel different. Your body's constantly changing. You're getting stronger. I mean, there's days where if you sleep funny, maybe your neck's bothering you, your shoulders are a little bit tighter. So just accepting that as part of the process. And as you continue to practice yoga, you will be a lot more in tune to those things. So you'll know how to make those modifications for yourself as well. So now doing those leg lifts, dropping all the way down, hovering and lifting up. And lower and lift. Coming into that crunch position if you'd like. For 10, 9, 8, 7, breathing, don't forget to breathe. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Bring those knees into the body. Give yourself a hug. Nice deep breath. And if there's anything else that you need to do or take or put the body in, maybe a twist, before we enter Shavasana, by all means. And we can take traditional Shavasana with the legs extended out. We can put the soles of the feet together, keep those hips nice and open. Sapta Baddha Konasana. Come into a restorative resting pose where the soles of the feet are as wide as the mat and the knees just gently fall in together. If you're in Shavasana and your legs are out, take them a little bit wider than normal and just kind of allow them to splay open. So you're not holding on to the feet or the ankles, you're just allowing them to externally rotate and the hips to open up as well. Palms can be face down, allowing in some of that energy. Nice deep breaths. I'm just starting to let the body melt down and mellow. Allowing yourself to kind of give a scan of the body. Start with the crown of the head. Allow yourself to relax the muscles in the face, the jaw. Allow your eyes to kind of fall back into their sockets and just gaze down towards the heart. Release the tongue from the roof of your mouth. Relax the jaw. Relax the ears and kind of let them fall down to the back of the head. Relax the shoulders, the belly, the chest, the forearms, the upper arms, all the tight muscles in the body. Just feel them just relaxing and releasing. They've already done their work for today. Now it's their time to rest. Soften the root of your body, the belly, the tops of the thighs, the backs of the thighs. Taking some nice deep breaths. Allowing the sun every day to bring you new energy. Allowing the moon to softly restore you by night. Allowing the rain to wash away your worries. And allowing the breeze to blow new strength into your being. May you walk gently through the world and recognize its beauty every single day of your life. Starting to create some movement back in the fingers and back in the toes. Reaching the arms overhead for a nice full body stretch. Gathering the knees into the body and slowly making your way back up into a seated position, Sukhasana. Ending our practice in the same posture that we started in, coming full circle, and hopefully you feel a little bit more whole as well after practicing today. Inhale the arms up. Exhale the hands down through the heart center, Anjali Mudra. Thank you for sharing your time and your practice, your space, and your energy with me today. I couldn't be more grateful for all of you. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Namaste. Thanks for joining me, everyone. Thanks, guys. Enjoy the rest of your